tout bas, je vois la vie en rose.
Some of the things that I think Mummy has imparted to me is a yearning for truth and honesty.
Some of the things that I have learned is this curiosity. I think we learned it from both our parents. Both our parents were curious.
And conscience and loving, I mean, for sure.
I hope I can have the level of curiosity for as long and as fully as Mummy has.
Everyone only wants to help everybody, only wants to do the right thing by everybody, which drove me mad quite often.
L'amour de tous les jours, ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. S'il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie.
She's suffered a great deal with me because I'm a lot of things that she isn't.
She has an integrity that I aspire to.
I had to sort of learn a new language and learn a different way of being. We are family, and that therefore we should just be together, and for me that was a very foreign concept.
Those are the things that I'd like to pass on.
She allowed all of her children to be exactly who they are and didn't get in the way of that.
That sense of family and connection is something that I really hope that Talia and I can carry forward into the next generation.
Kepele, 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 kepele. That's what he loves, and he loves that. He learned that from his grandma.
She was on another intellectual plane.
I was thinking about where I get my need to do things slightly differently, or to travel, or to be adventurous, or to not toe the party line, and I realised that a lot of that is actually from Mummy as much as it is from Daddy.
Even today, where you think one could be tired of learning more, seeing more, doing more, hearing more, listening to new people, meeting new interesting people, that's not at all true.
We've been through all kinds of wonderful things and dreadful things. And she has been the most wonderful support, and she's a person who any man would be delighted to have as a wife and a companion and a friend.
I'm Johnny Boston.
I'm Talia.
Daniela, Lara, Boston. Leaving two out, but better that way.
I'm Christine Fulton.
This is Peter.
Son of Orna and Martin Boston.
There's daughter, Martin's daughter.
Martin and Orna Boston, the third born.
And I'm Orna's daughter-in-law.
Husband of Christine.
I'm married to Johnny. I'm the mother of grandchildren.
Brother of Daniela and Talia.
The sister of Johnny and Daniela. The mother of Teo, the wife of Peter.
I'm married to Talia and the father of her grandson, Teo.
This is Teo, one of Safta's 3 lovely grandchildren.
Orna Boston Yegnes is a most delightful, beautiful woman who happens to be my wife.
Mummy was born the year the war started in Palestine.
15th of September 1939, which was the day that the Nazis, the Germans, marched into Poland.
She, by her own admission, had a wonderful, rich childhood. While war was going on around her and the fight and the struggle for independence was happening.
Yeah, they lived in this small town near Tel Aviv.
Petah Tikva, a relatively new town that was created by her family.
She was actually very adventurous, would always be climbing trees.
And she was a tomboy, and she used to run around and get lots of attention and love and physical activity from all those around her.
Her father was an eminent lawyer, Eliyahu Yegnes. Eliyahu was one of 4 brothers. He went to Beirut University, a lawyer's lawyer. He sat on the disciplinary council of the bar in Israel. He was a kind of a judge. He was head of the Football Association. There's all sorts of things like that. Very, very distinguished gentleman. Her mother is a wonderful, very vibrant, and an extremely beautiful woman. Helped the Haganah, with all their activities, as did her father. And there's this apocryphal story in the family that her mother had to sit and pretend to be kissing her boyfriend while they were smuggling arms. Ronnie's her younger brother, is a marvellous fellow, is a very accomplished top lawyer today, but had been a professional soldier, had been 9 years in the Israel Defense Forces. He achieved the rank of being the youngest lieutenant colonel in the intelligence, was involved in all kinds of very, very secret missions, which we never really knew about. So she was brought up in this very, very right-wing background at that time.
The backdrop of Israel Zionist movement.
One of her uncles actually was one of the people involved in the very violent fight against the British.
Two of our uncles were arrested by the British Secret Service and were CID and were put in prison. One of them was very famous because he was the head of the Irgun in Jerusalem. She was a little girl. The British officers used to come. CID used to come to their home and say, "Where is Uncle Yitzhak?" And they were all taught to say that he was away studying in America, but he was really on the run. Orna, I think, possibly is a rebellion against that. He's a very liberal, very fair-minded, wants all the things that are now proclaimed about for Palestine and the Palestinians. She wanted it many years ago.
She got a scholarship to an English ballet school and lived, outside of Israel.
She didn't like it at first. She was 10 or 11 years old and she could hardly speak English.
Which I think changed her life in many, many ways, positively and perhaps negatively too.
It was very hard for her. Didn't see her parents for several years.
She was very, very homesick.
But she loved the ballet school.
And became a ballet dancer for a short period, but my grandfather, the staunch Zionist patriot that he is, insisted that she go to the army.
It's difficult to imagine, but she was a sergeant major in the army, and she was supposed to also be a crack shot. I don't believe it, but that's what I was told. I think she didn't like the army very much, but she liked the clunky paratroop boots that she used to have to prance around in.
Apparently it was a very nice uniform, the best, the most coveted uniform in the army.
And became an air hostess. And she used that to see the world.
It was actually the pin-up girl of El Al, and was on all the publicity of El Al. In those days it was an elegant thing to do. She went round the world several times, went to many countries, sometimes on her own. Very adventurous for a very shy person.
We like to think of our father as the adventurous, sort of ballsy one. So I think it probably took a lot of balls to be a woman to do all of that.
Then she had some famous boyfriends who we won't discuss, and then she met me. A friend of mine called Moshe Rushkus arranged for us to meet at a tea party. She was a charming, clever, distinguished, very shy individual, and of course very beautiful. We went to a place called Ashkelon, and in Ashkelon our car broke down as usual. I managed to find 3 guys who repaired it in the early evening. We had a lovely time. I went back to England and we married 8 weeks later.
Yours is the first face that I saw. I think I was blind before I met you. And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought
When we decided to get married in England, that it was going to be one of these very conventional top hat and tails weddings. I never met her father. We rang up and I asked him formally for his daughter's hand in marriage, because Orna had already come to England and we were living in Chelsea, and I said, we're going to have one of these funny things, will you be happy to come? Will you be happy to have one of these top hats and tails? He said, if necessary, I'll wear pyjamas.
the first time in my life. My eyes are wide open. Oh, my lover, for the first time in my life, my eyes can see.
I did a very terrible thing because I took my wife skiing. She was very brave about it because she'd only ever once been skiing before, and the instructor took her out on the ski run and went to the top, right to the top, and was absolutely petrified and was almost in tears, but was very stoic and brave about it.
Oh, I see the sky. Everything is clear in our world. Oh, my love, for the first time in my life.
One of my dreams was to go and live in Israel, and I thought that would be a very interesting forerunner, to marry a lovely Israeli girl with a delightful family. Gradually it became not a reality because things happened and children came and problems came and all sorts of things happened. Stones after that were the birth of my interlocutor now. That was a wonderful time of her life, I'm sure.
Allez, venez, milord, vous asseoir à ma table. Il fait si froid dehors. Ici c'est confortable. Laissez-vous faire, milord, et prenez bien vos aises, vos peines sur mon cœur et vos pieds sur une chaise. Je vous connais, milord, vous ne m'avez jamais vu.
Then there was Talia.
Vous n'étiez pas peu fière d'âme, le ciel vous comblait, votre foulard de soie flottant sur vos épaules. Vous aviez le beau rôle, on aurait dit le roi. Vous marchiez en vainqueur au bras d'une demoiselle.
And then Daniela was born.
Allez, venez, milord, vous asseoir à ma table. Il fait si froid dehors. Ici c'est confortable. Laissez-vous faire, milord, et prenez bien vos aises, vos peines sur mon cœur et vos pieds sur une chaise. Je vous connais, milord, vous ne m'avez jamais vu. Je ne suis qu'une fille du port, une ombre de...
Do I think of my mother? She's lovely.
What does it mean to you to be the daughter of Orna?
Being somebody who is honest and truthful and somebody with conscience, somebody who is caring and kind and generous.
And almost immediately knew that this was the right person for me to marry.
Kind, generous, giving mother and human being.
She just always seems beautifully put together.
We had a home that everyone was welcome. I think if you asked a lot of my high school friends growing up, they have amazingly fond memories of Mummy mothering them.
She would be very warm to my friends. My father wasn't rude, was rude, couldn't care less.
She loves to learn things, she loves art, she loves culture.
Not doing things just because other people do it, and to think for yourself.
I value the way that she is so right on in her support.
So concerned and caring about what happens in our lives, and yet is extremely non-judgmental.
She's the most marvelously devoted mother.
And I feel like she has really been great with my kids.
I love Shafter so much. Thank you so much.
My mother is my confidant.
A very large part of her life is devoted to making sure that they're happy and in good shape. Doesn't always succeed, but that's what she wants.
This background role that maybe she took in the family is generosity of spirit to really sort of make everything cohesive and work, which is not perhaps an easy task with our crazy lot.
She loves her family a great deal. I mean, more than anything.
She should be celebrated. She's a wonderful woman who doesn't get celebrated that often.
It's a joy and a unique pleasure for a change to have it be Mummy's show.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their
think about them.